Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is 9 o'clock, August 27th, time for the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock. We do these live every night at 9 o'clock to get you the weather and a little more in there. We have pet picks and science corner, your questions and comments, and just general tomfoolery back here when we can. First off, let's get into the weather. It has been perfect all week, and it's going to stay. This is like the 300 game in bowling for weather. I mean, we just keep hitting strikes, and it's going to be clear and cool overnight tonight. Beautiful weather for the weekend. Temperatures in the 80s, dry, and an active rain pattern comes in next week, and that may include the chance for some rain or some thunderstorms, which will kind of break the monotony, and we do need the rain. So we are looking forward to that potential. Dew points have been running right around 55 to 60 tonight, firmly in the comfort zone, and that will stay basically the same through the weekend. Next week it will become a little more humid, but still just looking at the low temperatures at night, that gives you an idea of how cool it's going to get, meaning the dew point's not going to be too much higher than it is right now. Comfortable. Longer range here, this is a GFS model through Thursday, and it's still wanting to put some rainfall over the tri-state, maybe a half an inch to an inch, depending on how the thunderstorms and showers align. That Canadian air is all the way down, about maybe 80% of the way down in the eastern half of the country, not quite to the Gulf Coast, but every place else. And we have one triple digit tonight, Phoenix in there at 101. Otherwise, it has been unseasonably cool for the vast majority of the United States. Here around the tri-state and around the region, we're still in the upper 60s to near 70. And in the tri-state proper, we have 77 at Greenville, the warm spot, 67 up in Mount Carmel, and 63 in Henderson. There must be something about the airport there at Henderson. The cold air must pool there. That's often one of the coolest temps that we have to show you. We hit 84 today, and that was on a 53-degree low this morning, so we really dipped down again. We weren't close to the record this time, but still quite cool and enjoyable. 84, as I said, for the high today. We're going to round out the month with 80-degree temperatures, which will leave us with a cooler and drier than normal August. Already we're about a degree cooler than normal on the average, and we're lacking rainfall by about 2 inches. For tomorrow, repeat, if you're getting out to football tomorrow night, temps will be in the 70s. You might want to take a jacket, though. It might get a little cool in that third and fourth quarter at the football games. Temperatures in the mid-80s during the afternoon. We have a cold front just to our east, and you see it has showers and storms connected to it. And then it kind of comes down like this, where we have more rain moving across Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. The closer view here, though, shows that we have a very firm dome of high pressure there, keeping us quiet. There are a couple of areas of concern now in the tropics. The first is off the coast of Africa. We have some storms beginning to show some organization. The National Hurricane Center watching that particular spot. The Caribbean is quiet if you're heading out on a cruise in this week or next. And the Gulf is also quiet and spotless right now. We have just the typical afternoon thunderstorms there showing in Florida, but that's it. Here's the zone most likely to spawn some sort of tropical system in the next 5 to 7 days. And you see no markings here close to the U.S. shore. Our storm risk at about 0. I mean, I'm rolling through these graphics here. There just isn't a whole lot to hang your hat on here for the tri-state if you're wanting, you know, a little more dramatic weather. For the hour by hour, that high pressure muscles on in across Lake Michigan, through the thumb of Michigan, and then into western Lake Erie and down into Ohio. And then it kind of centers there near, Zanesville and Wheeling, West Virginia. On Saturday, we'll start to get that southeasterly flow and maybe a few more clouds as a result. All right, let's look at next week, because that's when things start to happen. And we begin here with Monday, Labor Day, a little cloudiness starting to move in. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday, as a cold front presses down from the northwest, it's likely we will have some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two as that front moves through. Clear again by Friday. European model also honing in on the middle of the week, Wednesday or so, for some rain in here, and maybe a few more showers Wednesday night into early Thursday. For tonight, we drop down to 59 degrees. It'll be partly cloudy, cool. Tomorrow up to 85, plenty of sunshine out there, and our 7-day is dry again, with Labor Day now turning in an 84-degree high before the rain chances then start to sneak in. Still abnormally cold through the 7th of September. These temperatures will be well below the average high of about 88, meaning we will stay around 75 to 80 for the highs. And the rain kind of not really determined here, whether we will have more or less than average, but at least we're marked there for a chance for rain in that longer range outlook. Our pet pick tonight, we have a pair of girls here. This is Daisy May and Cricket. And I think if they are in the right order there, Daisy May has a look of maternal protectiveness here over Cricket down there. Maybe we'll hear from Lisa Rogers and we can get the backstory on our dog, our pet pick for tonight. And remember, if you want to submit a pet pick, you can do that on 14news.com, submit photos. Just check that out and you'll be good to go. That's the easiest way to do it. All right, I am looking at your comments and questions here. Lenny Howard likes the warm weather. All right. Charlotte Todd says, oh, the air conditioning's still off. All right, yeah, mine too. It's wonderful, you know. I mean, I like having to wear a sweatshirt in the house and not have to pay to get it that cold. I wouldn't get it that cold artificially anyway. But Paula Schaefer says, good evening. Cheyenne Hammonds is also in, saying good evening as well. So we're glad to have all of you with us here tonight. Typically, when we get into these quiet spells, you know, there's not a lot of commentary coming in. What can you say? It's beautiful weather out there. In the Science Corner tonight, we have a full moon coming up next weekend. Not this, but next weekend. And it will be happening on Saturday and Sunday, the full corn moon. And just a couple cool things about the moon and the lunar orbit. First off, it takes the moon 29.5 days to go all the way around the Earth once. And remember, the Earth is turning one revolution every day during that time, which is why the moon will appear to be about 12 to 13 degrees farther east each day. And that's why it comes up a little later each night, to the tune of about 50 minutes later each night. So, you know, if you have a lunar calendar, one that's just based on the moon, not on the sun and moon or the sun, a sole lunar calendar, it'd just be a lunar calendar, the months, if you will, tend to float or move quite a bit because the moon has a shorter period there and is just irregular to some degree. Now, there's something to look forward to as we get into October, November, December, and we have 3 supermoons on the way. Now, you know, you see all this hype on the internet and on your Facebook feed and wherever about the supermoon, you know, and biggest in 1,000 years and all that. Well, that's, of course, all hype and not really exactly true. What is true is that the orbit that the moon takes around the Earth is elliptical. It's not a perfect circle. And so there are times when the moon is far away, that would be perigee, and then there are times when it is close in the flat side there of the oval, and that's called apogee. And we will be in apogee actually on the 10th of September, so we kind of miss that full moon. And as long as you have 90% of apogee at the full moon, then it would be considered a supermoon. And it would appear about 14% larger in apogee when it's closest there at about 225,000 miles than it would at perigee when it's about 240,000 miles away. Oh, just a little something there to think about, and we'll be talking more about the full moon, of course, when we get closer to it next week. But just wanted to bring your attention to that. You may start seeing some crazy stuff in your news feeds out there. That's all I have for you tonight. I appreciate you watching tonight and every night. Stay warm, stay safe. We'll see you on 14 News at 10.